Have you guys heard about the Joseph Revens theory? It's a theory that says that Joseph didn't want to separate from Mary because he thought that she cheated or that she was impure. It's because he didn't feel worthy enough to be with Mary and to be a part of God's plan for salvation. Since Joseph is a just man, he knows that Mary belongs to God, and he did not feel worthy to be with Mary and to be a part of God's plan. And to be a just person, St. Francis de Sales says, is to be perfectly united to the divine will and to be always conformed to it in all sorts of events, whether prosperous or adverse. That St. Joseph was this, no one can doubt. And today the Catholic Church teaches that Joseph is the most holy saint after Mary and is the most just saint. And since the theological definition of virtue of justice is that it disposes a person always to give God and others their due, Saint Joseph always did the will of God and perfectly exercised the virtue of justice. Thus, it is theologically impossible to hold that Saint Joseph would have resolved to do something God hates. For example, divorcing an innocent person that did nothing wrong, like Mary. So you might be wondering, so why does the Bible have translations that say that Joseph wanted to divorce Mary silently? And the Greek word here is apolio. It can have different meanings depending on the context where it's being used in a passage. For example, according to context, apolio could mean separate, conceal, hide, distance oneself, and even divorce. And you have to keep this in mind. Why would a just man who follows God's will divorce an innocent woman like Mary? That would contradict God's will. And the great theologian Thomas Aquinas also says the same thing. Joseph wished to put her away not because he suspected evil, but because he revered the divine mystery and feared to live unworthily with one so holy. So as you guys can see, as the church discovers more about Saint Joseph through visions from the mystics and saints, they're finally realizing that Joseph didn't want to divorce Mary because she thought she was impure. She just wanted to separate from Mary because he felt unworthy to be a part of God's plan and to be with a holy woman like Mary.